pairings with Vi. The Talia is an exceptional one that people have used a lot. Ahri is also a go-to. Whenever you have the point and click plus the assassin mid lane, definitely dangerous.
And the nice thing about an Ahri versus Talia, it's a lot easier to jump into the backline with that Vi thanks to that Spirit Rush. Immortals are also going to round off that first round of the draft with the Kaisa lock-in, a pick that we've starting to see creep up everywhere globally.
And so whenever you see full dive like this from Immortals, in their first picks, very clearly, this is going to be a dive comp. Team Liquid are starting to think, Poppy, any sort of these counter-engaged champions. Already you have the minefield from Ziggs, which is pretty good, but drafting a couple more of those counter-engage options would really go a long way.
You already mentioned the Poppy. Another option that comes to mind is if you want to go down the support route. I think you mentioned at the top of the day, Braum, great for slowing things down, throw down that Glacial Fissure, create that slow field as well. Rel, and now Team Liquid are starting to look at what supports they can take away from Immortals to further enhance and elevate that dive comp.
Yeah. Because sometimes, even if you have counter dive and they have dive, if they just have too much, then you
just gotta overload it.
Yeah,
and
can't stop it. Rel is definitely a good ban here. Obviously, is super common pairing there with Kaisa. So let's take a look at Immortals though. Do they want to ban out defensive supports and smolder pairings, or are they just going to go for the things that I mentioned? The Poppy, you definitely don't want to go. Dive headlong into that one. I kind of like this, using your last two bans there to just do kind of comp protection.
What other junglers come to mind for Team Liquid when you want to just push opponents away? Xin Zhao, not so bad with the Crescent Guard.
Well, I'd say since the Vi is locked in, like there are other options for dueling. I kind of like what the options you're bringing up. Xin Zhao, sometimes it's really hard when you're facing a dive comp though, and you can get like picked off in the river or something like that.
Sure.
You do have to be a little bit scared, so I would like something with mobility for Umti, so that he'll have a couple of options and you can go do some face checking. I'm assuming they're gonna get a pretty beefy support as well, so you can have a beefy like jungle plus support to do the vision work and face checking. Since you do have really good wave clearing and scaling here with Smolder plus a Ziggs combination. And it looks like Immortals also kind of thinking along those lines. So the Sejuani with the dash, a very safe tank jungler.
Yeah.
Tank junglers basically have just completely taken over now with the Knight's Vow rush. Everybody's basically running tank jungles. The carries have really gone the way of extinction, unless you're Milky Way and playing in the LPL. Or maybe unless you're Umti. All right, some dueling power probably. I like this. Volibear makes his way back onto the Rift. This is definitely a bridge jungle.
Sure.
A lot of early game power here. So we'll see if Volibear plus Renekton topside is enough of a focus for the early game. They could maybe control grubs on topside, really focus on those two, especially when they both have flashes up. It is incredibly dangerous. So let's see what kind of safe pick Castle could play into it. Locks in the Gragas immediately.
I've been seeing the Gragas top lane starting to creep up a lot. I haven't checked the global records competitive-wise, but at least in solo queue, a lot of top laners have been prioritizing the Gragas. Just really safe to be able to duel back and create disengage with that explosive cask. If you try to dive under the tower at level 6, it can be such a problem. Team Liquid now seeing the Rakan from the side of Olleh, locking the Tahm Kench, even extra safety and disengage.
I saw someone in the crowd yesterday with a sign that said, "Bench the stench," and I was like, wow, that is a more offensive Tahm Kench bench calling than usual.
We're just assuming Tahm Kench is a smelly catfish. He has a top hat.
I mean, honestly, it does kind of track. He is the River King for the swamp, so
true.
Maybe it does actually track, but it is going to be unbenched. The Kench has been unbenched by CoreJJ. Definitely has put a lot of time in on Tahm Kench. And of course, when you're running Smolder, looking for ways to keep Smolder alive and keep Smolder stacking. So CoreJJ will be the safety net here for Team Liquid. And it does mean Team Liquid, basically the only early game play is on the top side of the map with Renekton and Volibear. Possibilities there. So probably looking at grub control, focus up there. Castle, I think he'll be fine though. Gragas is very, very good at denial. He's gone for the grasp Gragas as well.
APA. might be in trouble here. He was caught between everyone, and there's just no point to try and flash. That's first blood for Immortals.
The distraction. Tweets coming in as well. Not even looking at it. Impact is here. They want to stall it. They let the recall go off, so Vi is out.
CoreJJ is also here, but Tactical is here before Yeon, so Impact takes a lot of damage, but Castle is forced to recall as well.
Man, Armao, though, getting to start with a longsword here on Vi is going to have an accelerated clear. He did start Q, though, on Vi, which is suboptimal as far as skills. Maybe they'll just give him a leash on the first camp because of that. So get to his W right after this. And with the extra longsword, we'll be having a pretty smooth early game here. At the very least for Team Liquid, you can say APA didn't flash. He resigned himself to the death in level 1, although, you know, it's rough to die there for level 1. At least you don't now have to worry about repeat ganks and being taken advantage of, because a lot of teams have focused on the mid lane for Team Liquid, especially in the early game.
Ever since the beginning of the split, APA has been the target of many teams in the early game, as Yeon is going to get ignited early by Olleh. Immortals bot lane just trying to fight for lane pressure. The exhaust comes out as well from CoreJJ, so it is an exchange of summoner spells early on in the game.
Oh, I think we're going to get a red side clear Volibear gank. This is a solo queue specialty. 3 camp topside gank here. It is indeed focusing the Volibear Renekton topside. They both have flash. Good luck, Castle.
All right, Umti, how do you play this one out? Castle is trying to chunk out Impact, but he's got Max Fury. Gets a little bit of healing there. Umti goes for the stun as well, and he cuts off Castle's escape route with the Sky Splitter, and he flashes in front of the body slam to make sure he's going nowhere. That's a kill for Umti.
Well done, General. And it is not even going to cost them much. It's pretty quick on the gank. Umti goes for the recall to reset to his other side. And Armao did not go over there to counter jungle at all. He had already made his way up to the blue quadrant, hit on his own side. He's not looking for a repeat here, right? All right, he's just checking around, making sure Volibear didn't try and get anything afterwards. And so nice little move here for Team Liquid, getting them back on track in the early game. Giving up the first blood at level 1 is not the ideal play, but that Volibear Renekton, that was basically your only early game option, and they make it work.
Shout out to CoreJJ. 370 games played in the LCS, passing Apollo for 17th all time in the league. Nice.
Big pass. Number 17 taking over. He's had his eyes on that one for a while. I know it. Looks like, though, after bottom side clear here for Volibear, it's always interesting when you go for 3 camp ganks, because it really desyncs your jungle clear, your 2 quadrants, your respawn. So we'll see if he just does clear up into the top side again. I think that Castle now, since Castle also doesn't have flash, top side's a lot easier to be safe on. Maybe just ward the tri-brush up there. They did move in and get a ward on the second respawn for Raptors for Umti. So when Umti does get over to his second clear on his Raptors and Krugs, they will at least know that he's up on the top side again, and Castle can play accordingly.
Yeah, so Immortals operating with perfect information of Umti so far. They even had the Scryer's Bloom to check when he was on that blue side jungle, so it allowed for Armao to make that ward on the Raptor camp even possible. So knowing that Umti should be on the top side of the map, Olleh and Tactical will be safe at least for the next minute or so, while Umti looks for something on this top side. He's currently hovering mid lane, but because there's a ward in that river bush, there's no plays to be made on Mask. However, top side...
They're literally pinging Umti right now. Blue ping was right on top of his head. Because of that ward in mid lane that you mentioned, even if he goes around the Scuttle Crab vision, they still know that he's around this area. And so it's to no surprise of either team, he immediately goes for the grubs. He's actually so sure about it that he smited the first one.
But Armao...
Almost always you will save your smite for the later ones. He sees the lanes moving, so he's got to get out of there.
Remember, Umti doesn't have flash. He used it in the top gank against Castle. Armao commits his own to connect the ball breaker onto Umti, but he's still walking away. Impact allows him to get himself out, but the flash from Mask after the body slam from Castle connects onto Umti.
Yeah, a little bit too sure about that grub play there. Over vision, and Immortals say, that's illegal. No grubs for you. You can smite one of them, but you better get out of there quick. He goes down. Impact is best. He was trying to peel for him, but the body slam has such a big area that even with Impact moving back a little bit, still gets the bump onto Umti, and that is enough. They get the kill. Other two grubs go over to Armao, over to Immortals.
Now Impact has this timer to see if he can get some vision down. Doesn't look like he's gonna interrupt Armao fully. He does take out the ward thanks to that sweeper. But Impact just giving more information to at least his bottom side of the map to Yeon and CoreJJ that they can safely push that wave in.
Yeah, so remember, Umti did go over that Skeletal Crab too, so they knew that he had the exact timing on starting them up, and support recall came out. Rakan was on the way. As soon as Umti saw Castle move, he was like, uh-oh, I better get out of here. But it was already too late. From that flash that you mentioned, when he used on the first gank from top side, does get punished, but he reset back down to the dragon side of the map and immediately gets that objective for Team Liquid in payment.
All right, so objective control so far, one grub to TL as well as the dragon, but the other two grubs going over to Immortals. We'll see in the next 3 minutes on that second rotation of grubs, and another 4.5 minutes from now, that second dragon rotation. So far, even though APA died at the beginning of the game because he did not burn his flash, he has been fine in his laning phase.
Yeah, the kill did go over to the Vi, so at least for his sake, like it didn't affect his lane. Like you're saying, he didn't blow his flash or anything, so he's been able to just farm it out on the Ziggs for now. And he is going the Seraph's build as well, investing in so much early mana with the tier as well as the Lost Chapter. And we'll be looking for that scaling 2-item power spike there. Meanwhile, Smolder trying to stack up on bottom side as well. 40 stacks, not too bad by 7.5 minutes. They've been kind of chilling down there.
This is pretty awkward for APA. He tried to recall, but he doesn't have teleport, so he cannot necessarily leave the lane. Mask was moving to see if he could threaten for a bot lane roam, but just moves, get some vision down first.
And since on the catch where they got Umti off of grubs, Mask used his flash. It doesn't have the super duper threat of Ahri with ultimate and flash for that play, so he's definitely thankful for that. But like you're saying, on the desynced recall, it is not a cannon wave, so these ones are all going to die. He's going to lose out all the melees. Maybe he can bouncing bomb. He's in range for the bouncing bomb. Nice.
At least he gets 4. Armao currently on the top side of the map. Impact does not have flash from earlier. There could be an opportunity. Cease and desist is available for Armao. Castle also having explosive cask at the ready, but Armao's dancing back and forth. He's trying to wait for the perfect bait.
Yeah, no flash on Impact, and Castle has his, so this should be a guarantee. They've got Gragas with flash and ultimate.
Probably just waiting on this cannon minion.
Oh,
see if Impact can be baited, but dodges.
Oh!
Impact styles on him! Dodges the body slam and the explosive cast. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, Umti goes for the dive, and they already forced tactical back. That's the end of both plays.
Oh my goodness, Impact dances in their faces. So much time used as well, hovering there. Umti, though, as you mentioned, uses ultimate on bottom side and the flash. So it looks like they're going to avoid as well, but Impact still got it. The fancy feet, dodges everything.
29 years old, and he's still got the hands, bro.
Yes, sir. Cleaned out that keyboard right before the game, too.
Hey.
If you tuned in early.
That's
and
the
you
tech.
saw him, his hand warmer exploded, and he had to clean out the little bits of the hand warmer. But immediately got that solved. No problems there. Right back to lane as well. Has a CS lead for himself. Of course, they got that early gank, and we're able to get the early kill there. Nice little job here. Because you saw him press the ward, they immediately clear out some of that vision, and second spawn of grubs is up. Remember, with 2 of the early ones for Immortals, Armao could try and go for the 5 here. At least getting 5 gets you 1 Void Might, and is certainly a very valuable objective. CoreJJ trying to punish them on the other side, though.
Looking for the Abyssal Dive that forces Spirit Rush out of Mask so that his ultimate will be expended here. Olleh's ensuring that Mask will be safe while he's pushing this lane back, but because Umti is spotted on the bottom side of the map, there's no chance that Immortals should lose any of these grubs.
Now, let's refocus on team comps well after Castle.
That's a flash.
Nice flash. Another thumbs up from Impact. He is having a very good day for himself. Bottom side is getting counter jungled, but remember the differences in these 2 types of teams here. Off of the mid game, Immortals are going to be looking for these heavy dive plays. Wait, I mean, they're just getting zoned off tower right now on bottom side. Yeon having the time of his life. Olleh and Tactical back between towers while Umti was taking Krugs. And you've got a Smolder who's racked up 3 plates already.
He is swimming in the money right now. How many stacks does Yeon have at this point? That's what I want to...
Yeah, 76 it shows right there. So pretty decent stacking. It's always nice when you're both AD carry plus melee supports. It makes it a little bit easier. You know, he's always looking for his AoE snot balls through both of you, plus the minion wave if you can get them. So you can get those extra ones building up in the early game. The early ones, so much harder to get, but really help out with the stacking. And off of all the money that they got zoning down there in the turret plates, Essence Reaver completed for him already. It does mean on the reset though, nice little advantage here from Immortals. Since there was such a long time they stayed out on the map there for TL. They go for the reset. Immortals pick up the Dragon. Dragons are split. No early Dragon Soul this game.
I don't know if you could hear that on the microphone at home, y'all, but the Mountain Dragon spawning just caused a huge rumble in the arena. That always feels super sick.
Yeah, which one's louder, the Dragon Spawn or Smolder calling mom?
Oh, true.
I have heard people talking about how loud that one has been as well. We'll see once.
Uh-oh. APA, even if he flashes, but thankfully, outside of vision, explosive charges away.
They saw you, buddy.
Uh-oh. Umti is going to use the ultimate right onto Armao, and they throw the Kobe down. All so much damage on Armao, and he's got nowhere to run. That's a kill for APA.
I mean, yeah, they did see him, and Armao's thought process was, I've got my finished Sundered Sky, so I've got the tab advantage versus Umti, finished item to just parts here. But if you don't hit your Q on Vi, you are at such a large disadvantage there, and he throws it in. The brush had a control word in it. Wasn't sure exactly where Umti still was, even though they saw him sneak into the brush. Umti moved out up to the top side. And then if you're not going to hit that, Volibear just crushes the 1v1 right there. And since both mid laners are here too, guess what? It's not even a 1v1. Easy follow-up damage from APA, from the Ziggs. They burst Armao down.
Things been looking pretty even so far between both teams. Almost 14 minutes, so plates will be falling in the next 40 seconds here. When we talked about at the beginning of the draft where Umti picking this Volibear was just one to operate as a bridge so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's done exactly what you want. Basically what you want in a bridge is some sort of grub control, which they got out of the first gank topside, so that was their objective there. You know, Renekton and Volibear, great. We're not going to give up 6 grubs. We don't have to worry about, you know, accelerated tower taking against us. And then the other thing you want is 1 dragon. All you need is 1 dragon to buy you the time for smolder stacking, and you have great wave clear with Ziggs. So job completed, really, winning some of these skirmishes. Probably be ideal not to have that other death, you know, you're getting trapped inside the grubs, but they were able to at least take away one of them, so it wasn't a full 6 stack on grubs.
Tower exploded. APA gets the first brick. Immortals are trying to move in to see if they can cut him off. He has a flash. If he can maybe flash to the Tahm Kench and get eaten and swallowed alive, as he is saved. Umti is already ulted backwards, but APA might be in trouble. No, it's just CoreJJ that gets caught out, a sacrificial lamb to make sure that the mid laner gets out alive.
Sacrificial frog, as is custom for Tahm Kench. He's there. They extract APA without APA having to use his flash, but 1 extra kill given over, and they didn't really get to push mid lane. Yeon's gonna at least be able to stack up there without anybody harassing him, but they don't get like any extra sort of objective.
All right, well, while things have calmed down, did you all know that playoffs start next week? We've got games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You'd be hard-pressed to find something that happens on more days of the week than that.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. Starting on Thursday, playoffs, baby.
Yeah.
The funnest time of the year. Umti actually has found Olleh here, but he is Rakan.
Yep. Very slippery. Grand entrance first, and then the battle dance to ensure that he can always jump to an opponent. Armao, does he want to look for something? It's not quite numbers advantage, but Castle is collapsing first. Armao doesn't have cease and desist, but Umti looks for Castle first. They're going to try to find Yeon in the back end. CoreJJ does not have the ultimate to save him, but they have enough distance to get out of harm's way. The Rift Herald's going to be started up by Immortals.
All right. Honestly, they're going to brute force it here. I think it's good because they've got mid wave pushed in. Mask was able to get the wave all the way up to the tower, so APA is going to go mid instead. Should be an easy Rift Herald there for Immortals. Yep, and they get it. Nice commitment. Dragon will come up shortly as well, though, so they're going to go for the quick reset.
Oh, Olleh, is he in trouble? Forced a flash. All right, that's a summoner spell down off the support.
Yeah, definitely makes the engage a little bit less threatening. You do have flashes on Armao and Castle, so like it's still playable. You still have a lot of really good engage options on the sides of Immortals. Let's see about this one, as 26 seconds left means the resets here are probably a little bit late, and since Umti is going topside for that Scuttle Crab first anyways, is going to be mid lane push. First for Immortals. Tactical will get that one going. They're just going to trade here. Team Liquid have decided. We'll give up the Dragon. We got the first early one that we want, you know. We've got Smolder and you know, Ziggs scaling here, so let's just go for the tower gold and maybe the kill gold.
Oh man, Impact just walks past Castle. He's like, I don't care, we're taking down this turret. The turret falls, Castle might be in trouble. Using the ultimate from Umti forces Castle's Flash's response.
Yeah, I love the call. You've got really good scaling there in your two carries. Go for the extra gold instead, and now you've taken out the flash on Rakan. You've taken out the flash on Gragas. Basically, it's just Armao and Mask now, the engaged flashes that you have to worry about. So the pick potential of this Immortals comp that is lined up with a lot of possible picks, a lot of possible dives.
Oh, Mom is being used just to try and see if they can chunk out Tactical, force the flash to make sure that it was not lethal. Immortals on the back end of it pick up the second Dragon for themselves. Will there be a fight here? You already mentioned no flash from Rakan, no flash from Gragas. He has teleport if he needs to join the fight. He's currently on the top side of the jungle, so he would have to teleport in if they need him to try and disengage this. But TL just bully Immortals off the river and move in.
I mean, this is looking pretty dang good for Team Liquid. 151 stacks on Yeon. They're basically assassinating Immortals flashes, going after everybody, getting all these key flashes off. And if they don't have the flashes, that threat isn't really there. I guess Ahri on 2-item power spike now is the main one. You're like, okay, Malignance plus Horizon Focus for Mask. That is a lot of burst damage.
Yep.
We do need to respect Vi Ahri.
Impact does have flash. The battle dancing coming in from Olleh so he can get in range for the quickness. Gets the charm down. Impact in a world of trouble. 1v3. Looks for the Coal of the Mink, but it's not enough. Healing, and Mask picks him up.
There you go. They get their pick on the side lane. They get the Vi Ahri in tandem. Impact down. Impact does have teleport though, and with the 30 seconds there, the wave was already pushed. So Team Liquid here should still be able to stabilize, do a little bit of counter jungling while the bottom side was taken over. Umti at least take over the Gromp, and it looks like it's just going to be that one kill.
I mean, considering the state of the game so far, like Team Liquid, even though there's been a couple of side lane deaths of one member being a little too overextended, it has not really given Immortals the ability to snowball and blow this game open. So far, as long as Team Liquid are minimizing these kind of costly plays, they're fine. They'll hit that scaling point, and it won't seem like Immortals will have an answer for it.
Well, we will see about it. Tactical on the Kaisa here. Does have the crit build with the Kraken first. We'll see about that Kaisa scaling compared to the Smolder. I think Yeon is on a pretty good pace here. We're approaching 20 minutes and he's got 177. For pro play, my expectations for the stacking is significantly lower than for solo queue. And since they do have the protection of the Tahm Kench, does look like it's not too far off hitting the 225. I think they'll be decently happy.
They're gonna find Umti. He has flash available, and he gets swallowed up by CoreJJ to keep him alive, but they find AP on the backside, and there's no way that he gets saved out. The satchel charge does not save him. Mass picks him up. Umti is able to trade one back onto Olleh, and now Immortals are on the right side of the flank. Blue buff caught in between, but the rest of Team Liquid, they can look to try and turn around this fight. They still have Yeon to put out the damage, but they have the prio towards mid lane, and they might just collapse there instead. As Impact forced off, but still has flash, he's not in any real danger, and Immortals trying to struggle to get themselves back to mid lane.
Nice little dive in there from Immortals, taking out mid lane, just giving up their support's life instead. does actually open up mid here. Yeon got to stack a little bit more.
Explosive cast, not quite right. Umti stands in front of Yeon to make sure the ball breaker cannot connect, and Yeon is kept safe.
No ult on CoreJJ, so they have to be a little bit more respectful here. Umti walks up, and here goes the charge.
Knock up from the Rift Herald, but it's only onto CoreJJ, so he's not in any real threat. Mask is teleporting in the mid lane. Does not have Spirit Rush available quite yet, I believe.
Immortals have to be a little bit careful. Don't want to stick around too long. Everybody has respawned for Team Liquid. Sometimes your Rift Herald can be a bit of a bait in the mid game, so they're pretty wise here in backing off and not overstaying, I feel like. APA came down. Ziggs wave clear that we kept on mentioning from Champion Select. Olleh's getting a little bit of a beating right now from those bombs. But yeah, the wave clear coming in big again as he respawns, heads on down. They put a stop to that push.
Throughout this game, still so far, Immortals have not blown this game wide open, but Mask has a ton of gold, almost completing his Crypt Bloom, has the 2 components for it. He will be the first champion in the game that will have 3-item power spike, and I feel like as Immortals, that is the one play that you are hoping for.
And from Team Liquid side, when you're looking at that danger, you both have to mark Mask, but you also have to mark Armao. Volibear and Renekton, it's definitely worth it for them to move in and try and stun Armao on his Q. Don't let Armao get the extra distance there, because if Vi gets in there with a Q flash or something, oh, they're starting.
They're looking for it. CoreJJ already swelling up APA, but Umti is taken as prisoner for the side of Immortals. Bomb comes through, gets some damage down, but CoreJJ might be in trouble. Impact stands in front. The rest, the backline, but Mask gets assassinated by APA, and now it's all Team Liquid in this fight. Castle forced to run. Impact already popped the dominance, and he's gonna run him down.
Yep, Yeon also hit 225 in that fight. It's smoldering time. The executes start coming through. Yeon's flying over the wall. They're gonna feed him another one.
Here comes the stop bubble. Here comes the damage. Yeon picks up the execute, and down goes Castle.
All according to plan. The stacking comes in right in time for that fight. Yeon just got his 2-item power spike before it as well. The Sojin came in. Yeon is having the time of his life. They're even going to be able to get Dragon number 2 for themselves. A little bit more resistances for Volibear, for Renekton, for that front line. And let's take another look at how it actually started out, because Immortals definitely is a bit front-loaded with all their gauge. And CoreJJ right there saves APA from the brunt of the engage. Then Immortals are like, all right, fine, we'll take the Volibear instead. And so they get a kill, but saving APA is the key part. Big AoE damage in the counter engage here as Impact just ran right through them. And then you get the smolder stacks coming in just in time. You get the executes on top of it. It's just so much AoE damage from Ziggs plus smolder there that even though the first kill was Umti, it was a very worthy sacrifice. Well done, General. That small little 143 damage, that doesn't matter. He did his job.
That's right.
And allowed the Ziggs plus smolder.
Impact has just been clean with the movement. Sidestepping the charm. Mass has got nowhere to run. The mid laner's gone now from Immortals, and they might just turn to do the Baron.
Yep, they certainly will. Huge advantage here. Castle does have teleport, but it's like, why even risk it going over there? Just keep split pushing. Immortals try and push in mid. Actually, they're going to go for it. Castle's coming over. They're walking over. Here we go. Armao does have flash. He does have smite.
He has a control ward in the pit. He has vision. They put 2 down. They're trying to slow down the fight. CoreJJ is engaged on APA with the stasis. Cancels out the cease and desist. Umti with the ultimate jumps on Olleh. A tactical finds the assassination on CoreJJ, and he's out of there. Immortals have stopped the Baron.
Oh, nice counter there. They stop the Baron, and they get the kill on the drive-by here from Tactical. Sees it from the other side of the map. Gets the kill, gets out. Beautifully done.
All right. For now, Immortals have stopped the Baron threat from Team Liquid, but it's still not enough to put them in a comfortable state as we take a look back at that replay.
All right, so they call Castle over. They're like, all right, we are not giving up a Baron. That's too much of a mid-game swing here. They try and fight it off, 4v5, going right in onto APA again. APA does have the Zhonya's there. Is able to deny that one, but again, huge amount of damage done to CoreJJ, and off the Gragas ulting him into the wall there, off onto the side. Tactical sees the angle, it's not too dangerous. He's able to go in, has the speed to walk out afterwards. There we go.
Oh,
Once
Impact. No flash. Has the dominance available. Currently in a 1v2, but Tactical is also starting to make his way down towards the bot side. So even if Impact survives these two, surely he gets cut off. The cease and desist is just going to try to lock him down here. Tactical will pick up the kill eventually. What can Team Liquid do while this is happening?
Really good pick here. Immortals playing the map better, making use of the pick potential. They lock down Impact again, and Team Liquid can't do anything else on the other side of the map. They push a couple waves. Great. Really nice job here from Immortals, jumping on TL as they're trying to push out the map, making use of this extra mobility that they have, sending multiple members down there. Let's see about TL trying to actually stabilize now. I mean, you do have plenty of stacks on Smolder, and the rapid fire is going to come in soon, so it's going to be easier to even apply that. Once you get your rapid fire, your Q, of course, the range increases also, so it makes it super duper easy. Looks like he's actually got the money already, so he's going to go back and buy that now. And as we've already seen, APA on Ziggs gets to stay really far back too, so the range on the TL carries is a really big part of it. And Immortals, their task is how do we close that range? You know, we pick people off in the side lanes, we make these fights really like stretched out so that Tactical can make use of his killer instinct and mobility, you know, picking people off, and that's the way that they've got right back into this one.
Yeah, open spaces is where Immortals will be able to thrive because then you can have multiple angles.
And side lanes.
And side lanes. Impact is here once again. He has flash, but I don't know if he's going to escape. The cease and desist connects. They get the slowdown from the barrel. Mask is here to guarantee the kill. And once again, Team Liquid are not in position to get anything done on the other side of the map.
Dude, look at this jungle. This jungle is lit up with blue wards. And Immortals just take advantage. They walk right in. They're like, hello, Impact. Yes, it's us again. Rest of the team for Team Liquid. They push one wave. Uh-oh.
Oh, Yeon just trying to fight the 1v1 against Tactical. Gets the flash out. Olleh tries to connect with the quickness, but only gets Umti on the back. Tactical is able to get out, but they have the mid prio here, but Castle is teleported into the mid lane. Maybe he can look for a great barrel onto Yeon, but it just punts him into safety. Not quite the angle they were looking for. That's a huge bomb from APA. Gets some decent damage down into Olleh, but no one's executed yet. Umti might be forced to save by CoreJJ. Gets him out alive. Mass taking a lot of damage, gets executed by Yeon. Not quite the execution they were looking for.
There we go, TL. They're going to take that sign and move right over to Baron. Scuttle Crab picked up for the extra vision. Let's see, TL, do you just call it and go for the dragon, or you say if we lose Baron, we lose the game, and you want to fight it anyway? I mean, they don't have Mask, the Ahri, the super fed assassin threat. Tactical is kind of the only one who could really save the game again, and Armao is just getting poked out before they even get up to it. Yeah, APA zone him off with the bombs.
Nice, and the rest of the Team Liquid members are just burning down the Baron. Armao cannot get in range as he's being punted off. Sub 1400, that's Baron secured for Team Liquid. Here we go, Team Liquid now with the Baron buff on their side. What can they do with the map?
Well, for sure, go grab this dragon. You don't want to give any other options to Immortals. They've already shown Immortals, they're very willing to just jump on anyone in a side lane, so TL don't want to leave an opening. If they do give up some more picks, or if a tight fight goes wrong some way, you don't want a slingshot comeback here. So they move on down, pick up the dragon, they'll reset and then push out with the Baron here. Should be able to pick up outer tower, probably push top and mid with their siege. From the side of Immortals though, how much money more do we need for Mask to be able to finish that death cap? You finish the death cap and then you pray and you're like, all right, hopefully we can get this burst damage. You know, hopefully we can catch someone away from the Tahm Kench.
Yeah.
And Tahm Kench can't just eat them. But I would say feed as much money into Mask as you can. Right now he can, and he does get that cannon as well. Hopefully for them and for their possibilities of extending the game, that is enough to finish his death cap.
We'll find out. If he took Futures Market, he might have it, but I think it's 1,100 for the completion cost of death cap once you have 2 rods. So he's still, if he doesn't have Futures Market, then he's waiting on about 300 and change. His Team Liquid are just going to start the siege. Tier 2 turret falls in the top lane. Rest of Immortals hold their ground and try to buy time.
Team Liquid, remember, this game secures them playoffs. They are so focused right now. They pick their double scaling again. The Smolder, the Ziggs. Really smooth early game from Smolder too. Yeon got his stacks early, but here's the siege. Armao's looking around.
Max jumps forward, APA dodges the charm, forced to use the stasis. CoreJJ has to swallow him up. Actually doesn't even need it. He's able to buy enough time. Yeon takes the first execute. The second one goes down. It's a 5-on-3. This just could be the push that takes Team Liquid to the playoffs.
They're in the base, and they're looking like they're in playoffs. Here they come.
Damn the Immortals' resilience and persistence as they make one last-ditch effort. Tactical onto the backline with the killer instinct. Armao sends it all, but he gets executed by Yeon. Castle falls next. Tactical's the last one, and this will just be the last game of Immortals for the regular season. Team Liquid have the resilience and the fortitude to withstand and unleash Immortals and lock themselves into the playoffs.
Calm game from Immortals here, but not enough. Team Liquid too good. In the early game, Umti here on the Volibear goes for the first gank up on top side with the Renekton. But really, as long as they just get one dragon and then allow Smolder to scale, Yeon had a pretty good timing on his stacks there for Smolder. They kind of cruised ahead. And then your Ziggs plus Smolder, really good range on those carries, really good clear. They were able to deny a decent amount of those dive team fights. CoreJJ's Tahm Kench, critical in that, saving key members. Despite some side lane pickups on impact, Team Liquid stands strong.
Team Liquid definitely taking a breath of relief now that they no longer have to worry about being knocked out of playoffs contention. There are still multiple tiebreaker scenarios up in the air for the rest of the day. But for us here, that does conclude our first match of the last day of the regular season.
There we go. All right, now they can focus on what's ahead. Playoffs. Let me remind you, Thursday we start. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
4 days, baby.
APA will be there. Will you?
A reminder that Fantasy LCS is happening over on Sleeper. Make sure you lock in your picks and bans for next week's games if you want to top your league. We're going to be